Everything I know about him is disgusting. Changes, but you kept going back to what you are.
Besides him sending me weird NSFW pictures when I was a no. I guess I mainly seen him reach out to me when he was talking about those girls. Started clowning me for it. Like, yelling at me for turning off his avatar.
Would bring in girls and introduce us to them.
He would say some of the grossest things like I'm playing hard to get.
Sadly enough, she's not the first and not the only person who was also a She went back to him like 4 times, maybe even 5 times. He does lie. He will manipulate.
And he knew that, right?
He knew, yeah, he definitely knew.
Hey everyone, before we get into this video, I just want to give a little bit of context. What you're about to see are conversations I had with different people who've had their own experiences involving Rockstar, who I covered in my last video. If you haven't seen this one yet, please check it out. My only goal here is to gather information, understand what's happening, and shed some light on the situation so people are more aware of it. Also, while I was working on this video, Rockstar actually deleted his account, probably thinking I wasn't going to post this. And just to be clear, I'm still going to make this video. So, this video is really being made because I think it's important to bring attention to what's happened. Some of the people who I spoke with asked me to keep their names private, and I fully respect that. So a few parts of this video will have voices or names kept anonymous for their comfort and safety. And please remember to keep things respectful in the comments. See ya!
When I first started VR chat, it was at a rough pace. That rough pace was basically me using my own phone, using a pair of Joy-Cons, and using this application to do things. After a while, I got, myself a Quest headset. So through and through, I was just, enjoying the world, exploring, and then eventually I've encountered a group of people. I can't remember which friend I requested off of.
Yeah.
It's probably either my homeboy or another one. But in that time, I met really great people.
Yeah.
And let's see, the friendship started blooming around August. And if I'm correct, I'm trying to get the year that I cut ties with him, because the last time he texted me was on Instagram, and I had to clarify some things.
Yeah, so I wanted to go through some questions and so you can have time to get everything straight out.
I'm going to be telling you about the full-on history.
Yeah.
It's a pretty long one.
Yeah, oh my gosh, okay. That's, honestly, I'm so sorry.
It's all good. I had to cut ties with him. I just couldn't with how he is as a person and with everything I've known. You know what? I'll just shorten it.
Okay.
So, prior to that year, I hung out with Rockstar, and he's quite the spammer. He wants people to consistently hang out with him.
Yeah. How did you first meet him?
Well, as I said, it was through a friend, and I just randomly started talking to him, and then eventually we clicked, because at that time I was like, pretty chill guy, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll hang out with him. And so I started hanging out with him. We would go to public instances, whether it be the Black Cat Cafe or some home world from another person. And we would hang out almost every day. And I mean what I said, almost every day, because every day of my life I've been hopping on VR consistently from August all the way to December. But when December arrived, it shifted a little, because at that time I started dating someone, and I kind of wanted to focus my life with that person.
Yeah.
And funny doing that. Those months I've gotten to know Rockstar, everything changed. My mindset changed, the way I view him as a person changed, and it all started with this little program I did with him. And I was basically what one would say, a therapist for my friends.
Yeah.
But that idea came from the person I dated at that time, to where they said I should use my therapy skills to profit. And so I started my own little program, and I did it with Rockstar. And everything I know about him is disgusting. He has dated a bunch of people, and these people were mostly trans. And these trans people, they have one goal: to be viewed as who they are as a person, because this is who they are. And I respect that about the trans folk, because you should always be who you are meant to be. If you are who you say you are, oh, excuse me, if you are who you say, I want you to be who you are. I want you to be who you're meant to be. Don't let anybody revert you or tell you otherwise. So he dated these two people. They were both trans, and what he tried to do was the most diabolical thing I've ever heard. And he tried to basically force or convert them back to whom they are biologically. And that's what he was focused on that matter alone. Despite them being who they say they are, he focused on the fact that, oh, they're biologically a woman, so technically speaking, I can just, And as a very filthy mindseted guy whose only goal is to get these people to hop on his non-existent virtual blah blah. I had to censor that. Let me say that word.
That's okay.
And that was his bingo. He would want to do adult things with these people. And what's crazy is the fact that he doesn't take the time to get to know them. I would consistently tell him, listen, man, you need to learn to get to know people. You need to understand them as a person. You need to converse, socialize, see who they are. And if you like who they are as a person, that's when you should be like presenting yourself. Let them know, hey, I'm interested. I want to get to know you. Let's, hang out more. Do some fun stuff. Nothing 18 plus, like under. But no, it's all about getting to know them for a week, already having feelings, wanting to be with them, etc. It's better not that he has a bad obsession with this character. I think you might know who it is. Crazy for that character. I don't know how, why. But he's crazy for that character. And all he would say is, well, she's the one who's 18 and technically an adult. And it's like, yeah, I'm duh. Yeah, with everything I heard, it's like, and yet you try to justify wanting to date.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know anything about that. That's like completely new to me. Well, Jesus Christ. Were there like any red flags like early on that you maybe like overlooked at the time?
Let me see. There was a moment in time where me and my friends, we are all just getting ready to move on from him. And so we've all gathered Rockstar into this one world, and we converse together there. My homie, he said his line. He needed to say what he needed to say, because he was sick and tired that he always comes up to him and starts complaining about things and how things are in relationships, and crying in about that. He just wants to have fun, socialize. He ain't trying to deal with the problem that somebody aka me, has already gave him the golden materials to fix himself, but he refuses to do anything. Throughout the first couple months, from August all the way to December, around December, I confronted him and I talked to him about the very thing that I told him about. And he just said that you can't expect change in a month. And I had to tell him, dude, we had 5 months for you to make changes, my guy. Changes. But you kept going back to what you are. You keep talking about making changes. You keep talking about wanting to be with someone. And yet, look at yourself. You don't do anything for yourself. You like where you are at. You don't want to change for nobody.
Yeah.
You want to be a freak. You want to be known as the guy who's a simp for rouge. Like, dude, you got to learn to read the room.
Yeah.
And he remained quiet for a while because he knows I'm right. He knows that I speak the truth. And he knows that the moment he starts lying, I'm going to remind him and then re-clarify things with him. Because he, from what I heard from my other friends, and this is just of recently, but he would consistently talk about me. Oh, sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. But he would consistently just talk about me, saying how I used him for money, but he doesn't explain why I was asking for money.
Yeah.
He doesn't tell you that, oh, the reason why he's been asking me for money is because he's been helping me with every problems that I be causing and bringing to him, that he would do his part into creating a group to socialize together, to talk it out, socialize as a group,
Yeah.
to fix the solution of the problem, a problem that he keeps causing at every turn. And I feel sorry for the people who viewed him as a friend, because God knows that they will have been suffering because he can't make a difference. So now moving back to the main objective that I was talking about, where he and I and everybody were saying our piece. My ex-partner, because we're not together sadly, but they're my ex-partner, they said their piece and they let him know how they felt. And then both and my ex blocked him. And then it was just me and him, and he started crying. Right in front of me, he started crying. And this is word for word what he said. Super, you're right. I only care about myself. I don't care about nobody. I only care about getting what I want. I only care about people giving me what I want. He was crying, in tears, crying, saying I was right about this, that, everything. And it's the truth. Of course I'm right. Because no amount of person would put up with everything this guy has put me through. And it changed me as a person. It only took my one friend to basically remind me that, hey, you're behaving more different than usual. You used to be more funny. You used to be more fun. And I took a moment and I realized that they are right. I changed as a person because I've been taking care of this person, babying this guy.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see this guy change. I wanted to see him make a difference. I wanted to see him grow as a person. But no. He stayed where he's at. He is who he is now. And it's crazy that I'm hearing what I'm hearing, and I'm seeing all these videos about him, people speaking up, which I'm glad they are. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, should be holding back the truth. The truth needs to be heard. The truth needs to be shown. It sucks that I have no evidence, because almost everything that happened was either through calls and VR chat. And it's only those two things that Rockstar prepares. Only those two things. And if he perchance would have want to text, we all know what he does. He deletes it after he makes his quote-unquote comeback.
Yeah.
And I had enough. My friends were right. February was arriving, and it was time for me to move on. I wanted to receive my last payment from him after my recent therapy session with him and consistently reminding him of what he has done so far. He seems to be the type of guy to always want to be praised for his efforts and everything.
Yeah.
Thus the word babying.
Yeah.
And when he refused to give me the amount I asked, I then said, okay, I don't care anymore. I don't care about the money. I don't care about anything. I'm tired. I'm tired. I want you away from my life. I want you gone. Don't bother to text me. Just leave me alone. Keep my name out of your mouth, and I'll keep his name out of mine. And then I blocked him. I didn't even bother to let him finish anything. I didn't let him to say anything because that all happened on Instagram. I blocked him, deleted the message and everything, and moved on with my life. And then after all that, it was a stress relief gone, because now I don't have to worry about this guy coming into my life, putting every problems that he has caused onto me to fix. All of it gone. All of it gone. And I'm tired that he keeps twisting my words like I'm using him for money, when that isn't the case. The money was earned because I did a great job in giving him what he needed to hear. It is not my fault that he stayed where he is at. He chose to be that person, and that's who he is.
Well, that is a like major experience. I have not known any of that. Dang, I'm so sorry. I mean, you truly do deserve like better. Dang, like, okay, so I have a question. So going back, so when you guys were were there like ever times you guys were like alone, just hanging out?
Oh yeah, there were times where me and him would hang alone.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
like, how would he act towards you? Like comparing that to like how he would react with like other people, aka like girls and stuff.
Okay. At that time, he would only hang out with guys, mostly guys, probably because his streak in trying to be with someone, excuse me, always goes to a fail. He's in a relationship and suddenly that relationship doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Think, well, that happens to everybody. We all get in a relationship, sometimes it don't work. It's nothing to stress about, that's just life. And he would at times just repeatedly repeat the same things, like repeating words from this, with a puppet, I don't know the name precise,
but I
know the character. It's Jeffy. Jeffy or Jeff?
Yeah, Jeffy. I know who it is. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he's the character who got that thing on his nose and
yeah.
would always reference that character consistently. And then he would repeat other meme jokes. And when I say repeat, he does that every day. Not once, not twice. Bro goes on to 4, 5, 6, and 7. He repeats it 7 times per day. And I spoke up and said, bro, are you just going to keep repeating the same thing over and over again? Yeah. Jokes are funny when you repeat it just once or twice, but you repeat it more than once, the joke is dead. Once you repeat it more than once, it gets less and less funny.
Yeah.
That is a natural fact. And when it comes to women, he would start to behave a little weird. then he would start saying, "Oh, don't wear Rouge de Bat, Avies. I simp for Rouge," like making it well known throughout the whole group of people that is in that friend group. And I only did this for the fun of it, but I wore a Rouge de Bat Abby, and then I tried to do the most feminine voice I could have. And I did a Rouge impression, and he just jokingly said he's questioning his sexuality and stuff, all because I sounded like a woman, all because I tried to voice a character he likes. And that's all he was so focused on. And after a while, it got a little weird, and I got out of that. There, in my memory, heck, if you need me to send you a username of my friend, he can literally vouch for me. And I'm pretty sure there are other people out there who has the same experience, because at VR chat, when I hopped on, I had a convo about Rockstar Radio, and a bunch of people just started talking about him, and it was crazy. He has one hell of a reputation as the predator in VR chat.
Were there any like signs that like he would talk about, like including children, stuff like that? Saying just like unhinged things, you know?
Honestly, I never really seen him near minors, despite him almost consistently using the whole Texas Romeo and Juliet law, where so long as they're 17 is legal to him in his eyes. He, from my view, has only been dating people of legal age, which is a good thing when I got to know him at that time. But there were times where things were questionable, because he did tell me one time he got hugged by somebody, but they were of not legal age, and that was basically a red flag. And then for some reason that caused his whole quote unquote reputation to be ruined. And I honestly don't know if something bigger happened. He just doesn't want to tell me about it. But that story alone, because I'm pretty sure he told you that sub story about how he went to a furry con and then he was viewed differently, and then he got blacklisted from the furry community and all that stuff.
Wow. I did not know that.
Oh, he has not shared that with you. Oh, okay.
Definitely not me.
Well, my memory is not that good of that, because I really just stopped paying attention to when he started telling me about the whole furry con thing. The only thing that was focused on is the fact that he allowed him to hug him, and that he tells me that he didn't know it was a same story.
Yeah. So just man, I mean, you really just like answered everything without me even telling you. So
I went full on straight from memory, and though there is a lot more I could share, I try to simplify as much as I can.
no, that's good. It's like as long
There's only
as
so much I can remember. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him out of my mind and out of my life, but he keeps trying to reel me back in by tagging my YouTube channel onto his recent videos.
Yeah.
I care so little about. Like, I don't know why he's trying so hard to be the next predator catcher,
Oh well.
even though he knows that he's a predator,
Yeah.
and everything he does is unjustifiable.
Yeah.
That he's locked up,
Yeah.
pay for all his crimes, all the harassment that he has done, and he needs a reality check, because who knows how long it's been since he got smacked in the face and got told, this is wrong, you should be doing that, you need to grow up as a person, stop trying to justify things and be a man, grow up, accept what you've done,
Yeah.
and be a bigger person. It's not that hard, but he makes it like it's hard. It's not. I can do it. My friends can do it. We all grow. We all change. but he does not.
Yeah.
Not that hard. And I hated that he blames it on his whole disability, ADHD, autism. Look, I'm autistic, but I don't use that as an excuse to chase after people.
Yeah.
Especially later. Like, no. How did that not come in his mind that that's wrong? It's like,
Okay, I have one more question. Literally, like, tip of the iceberg. If someone today told you they were thinking about being friends with them or with him, what would you like warn them about?
I'll share them my experience I had with him. I'll share with them the videos I recently uncovered online. And I'll let them know this is a guy who will make your life hell. This is a guy that wants you to consistently baby him, coddle him, even cuddle with him in VR and shiz. A whole bunch of needs that is so questionable that save yourself the trouble.
Yeah.
Block him, stay away from this guy. He consistently changes his username in VR. The only reason I was able to tell that was him was because I hopped in the world and he was the only one there had me blocked, and I read his bio and I already knew that was him. He created a new account, and it's funny how we have a group in VR chat, predators from hopping on, but they've been doing one lazy job because now there's even more of them, and I feel so sorry for the in VR who are just trying to enjoy themselves by escaping the harsh reality that some of them go through, because now they're going to be experiencing things that's going to haunt them on the long run. That's really what I worry about. And for the fact that it's thanks to my friends who let me know, hey, this guy, RockstarRadio, he keeps talking shit about you. And it's the same story, that you use him for money and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's not the case, but he just doesn't want to tell you the real reason.
Well, as we're closing up right now, do you have like a message for Rockstar you want me to put in the video?
You know what? I think I do. RockstarRadio, you need to do better as a human being. You need to really be better. I need you to look in the mirror, and I want you to look at yourself. And I want you to ask yourself why I am who I am today. And I want you to take that moment and realize that everybody who left you all try to help you. They all have done their part. They've all dealt with your personality. And as a result, they did all they could. But at the end of the day, you're the only person who chose not to change. You chose to be who you are as of now. You're now known as a predator. And I want you to stop running and accept that this is what you've done. You've caused this. You've hurt people. They're speaking out. And it's only a matter of time before you're behind bars, locked away for all that you have committed. Your constant harassment is about to pay its toll. And now, I just want you to think about your remaining time you have left before the cops go at your doorstep and start talking to you, questioning you, and then eventually putting you in cuffs. Because it will happen. And you can't run away from the law. And then that's the end. Your fame and fortune that you said got ruined because people kept talking down about your Name? Well, that ends.
I'm gonna start with when I met him though, because like I feel like that's the best part to start with him. If that's where you want me to start, or do you just want me to start like anywhere?
I was gonna ask you first, like, are you okay with being recorded and everything like that?
Oh, I don't care. I don't care. I see those YouTube videos all the time of people with that stuff, so I don't mind.
Okay. So I'm just gonna start off, like, how did you meet Rockstar?
I met him on an old Discord server that I made for my old channel when I was back still into Sonic. I made that hoping I could have quite a few fans join and, you know, have a little conversation, and he was one of the people who joined it.
Okay. What was, like, your first impression of him?
I was pretty young, so, I mean, honestly, I don't really know. I was like at the time this happened.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, I didn't see anything wrong at first. I just thought he was a fan, whatever. I didn't have to say or do much. Just thought that was it, really.
Okay. Yeah, were you guys, like, did you guys ever become friends?
I think he sent me a friend request like the same day I made the server, and I accepted it, and then we started talking a little bit. At one point we had some sort of bond, I'd say.
Okay.
I don't know about now. Definitely not now anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
after what he's done, I don't want to have a bond with him.
Yeah, no, obviously understandable. And, like, how close would you say you, like, got?
Not that close. I feel like it wasn't that close because he definitely never messaged me every day. I definitely remember it was like once a day, once a week, or whenever. But I didn't hear a lot from him on like a very, very daily basis.
Oh, okay. Did you, like, notice any, like, red flags, any strange behavior, like, early on?
Besides him sending me weird NSFW pictures when I was a no.
Wow, okay. Oh my god. Okay, did you, like, notice any, like, how do you treat people, like, around him, or, like, his friends, or, like, strangers?
He told me basically how everything went around him, saying that everyone just felt like they were betraying him, even his friends, and then he had some other friends who just completely believed him on every single thing that he did.
So, like, were you guys ever, like, did you ever, like, notice him in, like, private, like, instances, anything like that?
No, because I never really got on VR chat with him. It was always just, like, DMs, and the only times he'd ever reach out was whenever something was going on with him. That's the only time he'd reach out to me.
Oh, okay. Like, what exactly?
I guess I mainly seen him reach out to me when he was talking about those girls and how he was just so in love with them, and then he'd send me pictures of them from the VR chat, and then he'd tell me all about this, all about that he's gonna marry them and stuff like that. I didn't find, like, my mind was kind of just a little at the time, so I didn't really question him. I just was kind of weirded out, but I didn't necessarily question him.
Okay. So did you, like, was there, like, a moment where you, like, you realized something wasn't, like, right with him?
I think it was when he told me he was with this 16-year-old at one point. I think that's the only time I found it with that.
Oh my god. And he knew that, right?
He knew, yeah, he definitely knew.
Wow. Okay. So, was there, like, any point, like, you decided to, like, block him, or, like, just couldn't deal with him anymore?
Well, I never got the chance to block him or anything because randomly one day he deleted his account.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't bother with him for a while. So I didn't hear from him for like 2 years after that.
Oh, okay. And do you think, like, okay, I'm kind of, like, at the end here. Do you think he'll, like, ever change, or, like, is he stuck in the same old ways?
Oh, he's definitely stuck because every time, because I remember when he first came back, he was just still talking about those girls.
Yeah.
And then the third time he tried to reach out to me, he was saying it's all a lie, don't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So like, if someone like met him today and like wanted to be friends with him, like what would you say to them and warn them about?
I would tell them not to, because I feel like he's got more to him than some people think that he does. Because, like, you know, you can't always tell from online interpretations because it's like physically apart away. But I'd say stay away from him, because who knows who else is going to fall into his thirst trap next, even if it's a friend or a girl or not. Just stay away from him and block him immediately.
Yeah. And I know you have DMs about, like,
yeah,
you kind of want to show me.
It's very far down though.
Yeah.
I remember that now his account just got deleted. I don't know if I can get to it, but I think I might be able to at least see some things.
Okay.
You have a few screenshots here and there. Some of it's like cringe videos he's made and stuff about lying about an age of one of the girls that he was dating. I think I have another one, but I think up to you right now. Let's see. And then even I have one of him sending a screenshot to the supposed quote unquote girlfriend too. Yeah, he was in denial the whole time. And then to a point where I reached out to one of my friends and I told him what was going on, what the situation was. And I remember even sending him the same exact video months prior before he reached out to me. And he already knew. So he talked to him, letting him know that he was a pedophile and stuff like that. I don't exactly remember what he told him. I don't know if I still have the group on me either when he said that to him. But yeah, he just went all out, and then he goes back to the DM to tell me, what the f*** is wrong with you? I'm like, dude, you deserve that. And then he just gets all mad and angry and then blocks me, and I'm like, it's over.
Yeah, it kind of like explains it. Like, it's just like, if you block someone, you know.
Yeah, he's very easy to make angry.
Yeah.
As well.
Last thing, do you like have a message for Rockstar? If you do.
Okay, if he sees this, honestly, I just want him to know that I never want to see him again. And if he comes back to me begging for anything, that he will be immediately blocked and there is no more contact with him. And I hate him. I genuinely hate him.
I don't care. All right. So first off, how did you first meet Rockstar?
So me stutter. Me first meeting him was actually one of the things I intend to talk about, because my first interaction with him was him being an asshole to me. Because this was in my desktop days, so this was back in between January and April of 2022. I don't remember exactly when. I just know it was while I was on desktop. And I was there with, and this is also for the record, because I'm sure you're aware of these type of dynamics, since you're probably also on VR chat, but just for the record, for the audience, in a lot of online spaces, including VR chat, close enough friends will enter family dynamics and such. So I was there with a previous VR chat mother, and we were just chilling by the mirror in the old Sonic Hub at the time. And he happened to be wearing an avatar that I have a phobia of. I'm not gonna state the media that it's from, because but as I should, I turned off the avatar. My mistake was saying it out loud, under my breath, because then he turned around and started clowning me for it, yelling at me for turning off his avatar, even though I'm just turning it off so I don't get the scared out of me.
Yeah.
So he's over here yelling at me for turning off his avatar and clowning me for the reason why. And like, I don't remember too much of like what he said to me because it was so many years ago. But, you know, I specifically remember like him saying, "Oh, at least I'm not scared of like an F and F thing." And it's like, dude, like, it doesn't matter if I'm like scared of an F and F thing. I did what I should be doing and turned the avatar off on my own. I don't know why you're getting mad at me for turning off your avatar. And like, you can ask the other person that like you're talking to, because them and their partner were there as well, so they could probably like verify what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
Because I think by that point they were also like VR family as well, so they were trying to like get him under control, just trying to get him to leave me alone.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I first met him, was just him clowning me for a phobia.
Yeah.
Were there other like instances where you saw him, if you saw him like acting out?
So in terms of personal confrontations with him, there were two others, one of which I don't remember very much, like at all.
Yeah.
But the most recent one, like, I guess we were on like neutral terms for some reason. I don't know why. But, you know, we were chilling in a Apodos instance. This has to be a year or so ago now. Because I've since like blocked him on everything.
Yeah.
Including all of his alts. I will make that clear right now. I keep having to block him.
Yeah.
Because he keeps making alt accounts and showing up in spaces where I'm at. But if I remember right, I made a playful jab about like our first interaction because I was over it by that point. So, you know, I made a playful jab about it and he immediately got offended and was like, "Oh, you know, why are you so hung up on this, yada yada?" And it's like, dude, get it. Like, I'm over it. So why the f- are you getting mad about it for me bringing it back up? And then I like take this with a grain of salt, but like I, based on his behavior of when I'm hanging out with, because we have since like been in this like family dynamic. They're technically my VR parents, because I know that's like something I got confused about before.
Yeah.
Was that like someone thought that his like biological mother? It's like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So like he was technically my VR brother for a while, but I didn't associate with him at all.
Yeah.
But at some point I would notice, like when I'm hanging out with them too, he would come in, see me there, and then immediately leave. And it was so funny in the moment, because I'm like, you hate me for some reason? What? Why? And from what I've been told, like, you can probably ask them about this later, because it was who told me that he apparently had feelings for my current partner, despite them, like, you know, him and my partner getting in an argument, and it's like him calling her sensitive over it, which is confusing to me, but it is what it is. You know, I'm with her now, and neither of us interact. And then the thing I mentioned earlier, I don't remember the name of the world, but it's like that one that looks like a little apartment. It was me, Rockstar, off in the background, just doing my own thing. But I'm overhearing, like, trying to, like, you know, talk some sense into Rockstar, get his shit together. This was, I would have to say, like, between 2022 and 2023. My mic cut out during that. I don't remember the exact time. I just know it was in between, like, 2022 and 2023 of, like, when this confrontation was going on. And he still kept to his behavior after that. So I'm like, we talked to him for nothing. Yeah. Why are we here?
Yeah.
At the moment, that's all I have to say for that question.
Okay. All right. I was gonna ask more questions, but it's more like if you guys were friends or not. But obviously, you guys weren't friends. Like
we were technically around each other kind of often, just because like we were technically like VR brothers. But again, like I went out of my way to not interact with them, and would even like try to tell VR mom and dad, hey, like why are we still interacting with this guy? Like, look at the things he's doing.
Yeah.
yeah, like did you ever like witness him like talking to people like inappropriately?
Personally, no. Like, like I said, I went out of my way to try to avoid him after my first interaction.
Yeah.
And the few times I did see him, either he was talking to mom and dad, or he would just like go do his own thing, or just leave when he notices I'm there. So, like, thankfully for my case, I didn't see him doing anything, but for like informational case, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. And that's honestly good that you like kept your distance. I shouldn't have done that beforehand.
Yeah,
I know.
Well, that's the reason that this is going out, I imagine, is to like warn other people to like stay away from him, hopefully.
Yeah.
Cause like it's just so much, like
yeah,
Boy, you
like
gotta quit.
years of this kind of behavior. Because like I said, 2022, possibly before then, I don't even know.
probably.
I know there's like a couple of other videos on him of like him being like
It's a bad
a
person.
pedophile or something. I don't know.
It's a predator, a freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freak.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, I just have like one more question.
So
Okay.
If someone like today wanted to like just like met him and wanted to be friends with him, like what would you like warn them about?
Honestly, my experience, don't do it. Just, he's not gonna treat you great. But if you really want to, I'm not gonna stop anyone. Just be aware that he's kind of a dickhead to literally everyone around him, including his friends and family.
yeah.
Because like, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Well, there we go. That's all the questions I have for you. I really want to thank you.
Like, I will state for the record as well, just in case of like voiceover or audience, whatever, like, because I know my voice comes off kind of feminine. My pronouns are he, him.
Yeah,
So-
definitely. Yeah. Asking just like simple questions here and there, and like if you want to skip them, that's totally fine. Whatever's for your comfort. So,
Oh, I am open to anything
all right, perfect.
you want to ask.
All right, yeah. Also, I know you have like other things to share with me, so we can go through that at the end if that's okay with you.
That'll be okay.
Okay. All right. So first question off, we're going for the beginning. How did you like meet Rockstar?
Okay, so we met in about like 2 or 3 years ago, technically. Like, because when I first got on VR chat, it was like in 2020 or 2021, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And I met him in like the Sonic world, and we had a bond for a little while. And of course, he was kind at first, kind. He was caring. He actually was, a really good person. He was generally expressive. He was very energetic, and kind of like more like how do you put it? Like one of those people that would bring people together type of deal.
Yeah.
At least at first.
Okay. And like how did your guys like friendship start, and like how close would you say you gotten?
Like for us bonding wise, since I did become like his like VR parent,
Yeah.
since how he was, of course, he was like you said, kind, gentle, whatever. And there was to a point where he had his own group of friends. And of course, I had no problem with it. But of course, I'm normally iffy with new people, so I normally kind of like just stand around or whatever. But I got to know him through the things that he likes, and we had like our own like little jokes, funny things going on. And I would say like the bond kind of like did grow, but not as far as like I kind of hoped, because he was kind of like, how do I say it, like kind of like a bunny rabbit. He will hop one area and then he'll leave the next and then come back again and leave the next. So the bond, I mean, it was kind of there, but not really. So I would say like maybe kind of like medium, if we had like a meter.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, okay.
So
Like, what kind of things would you guys, like, usually do together?
mostly like there'd be times like we'll like go to movies, kind of like just watch shows or anything basically he wanted is what we technically did. But that was most likely it.
Okay. And, like, early on, like, have you noticed any, like, red flags about him, like, or strange behavior, like, early on?
Yes. Where at first I thought maybe it's like, you know, when you meet people and maybe you don't know the whole story, right? So sometimes there was drama slowly being put in the, you know, conversation or whatever, and he would bring it up. And at first, you know, you would think, because since you don't know for both sides, so you're thinking, whoa, like what they did was kind of like messed up. And you're like, okay, well, before, because especially me, I am the person that would hear normally both sides to a story before I make my conclusion of like who did what. And if there's a way to fix it, basically to help the factor of telling them still having a bond, but also not losing their friendship as well. So I was technically, I guess you would say, like, not only as like a roleplay parent, but also somebody who is a good friend of his, and basically was there whenever he needed, and over time it just no.
Yeah, okay. And, like, have you, like, noticed how, like, if there was, like, have you noticed any difference, like, how he would treat his friends, like, to, like, strangers?
There are some occasions where we would join him, like, in I can't speak, some worlds. And of course, we go to like B club sometimes, and we already know what that's about, right? So, and sometimes he would troll up in there, and sometimes he get down with somebody up in there if somebody gives him attention. And when it comes down to us, though, he's mostly chilled, relaxed, and then he'll bring up some things that's happened in the past, or he'll bring up, like, you know, he'll just kind of vent. So it's like, okay, well, that's fine. But there's only to a certain extent until we just not anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, going back to the other question, like, what kind of red flags have you noticed?
So far, like, for me being around him, because, you know, we recently ended, like, our relationship, like, early on this year, cut off, basically, because that's when we had enough. And he basically would bring in girls and introduce us to them. And we knew, basically, one of the girls, which he talks about a lot, which you could bleep out the name, but
Okay.
and there's more info to that was never being shown, or not really shown, but I guess talked about, because when they were a thing, he basically, of course they had a falling out the first hand, right? And she, from what he told me, she was, and I know, like, in other videos, he'd be mixing up the ages, because, sadly enough, she's not the first and not the only person who was also a that he's dated. So, going to basically her, she, like, I can understand when somebody is a victim of something and they want to be heard, which is fine, but she went back to him like 4 times, maybe even 5 times, and it was an off and on thing. And we met her in multiple occasions, and he just kept, I guess, staying there with her. And of course, we were the ones that were telling him, like, dude, you can't be doing that. And especially watching your video, like him talking about, like, oh, well, Texas is of age or whatever. And I would tell him, yeah, maybe in Texas, but what if she's not in Texas and that doesn't count, you know? And none of that. She's still you can't be talking to somebody who's underage and dating them with no problem, you know? And it's just... The only thing that I also can say about the red flags is that I would say for sure, he does lie. He will manipulate. He's twisted his own words to make himself look better. And there was one point where I remember asking him, like, did you really mean, like, that stuff that you said or whatever? Or did you do this thing on purpose? And he said, yeah, I did. There's multiple occasions where he has stated he has done these things, like done those things on purpose. And it's like, so you know what you're doing. It's just you refuse. And you are right. You know, like from hearing other people's like experiences and watching the videos that were made of him, you're technically right. All of y'all have been right ever since I've known him. And thing is, like over time, as soon as like I realized more of the red flags were coming out, I kind of kept track of some of them. Not all, but there's some DMs that I still have, even though they're kind of old. I still have them in case we ever try to come back or try to throw things in my face or try to make me look bad. And it's just been hectic. And I'm assuming because, you know, the whole situation of like your video and all that, I'm sure he's gonna be like, oh, well, they're talking about me, so let me go back to them because I was the only one that was helping him during the time. And I told him, like, as of recently, I want nothing to do with him anymore. And yet, you know.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, if you ever have like any screenshots, you're welcome to like share me anything at the end.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, was there any like other stories you've like he's like told you or like you've heard of him and it turned out to be true?
For the ones that turned out not to be true was dealing with one of my like roleplay kids. And him talking about like the old group because one of my roleplay kids like partner has a friend that used to be a part of the friend group with Rockstar, and some things were said, and he said certain things that made us upset. So we don't know if they technically, you know, had an issue with us directly because it was never told, like, you know, face to face. So, you know, it was one thing. But overall, like, we recently came to like a conclusion about like the whole situation, and it was just, you know, out of proportion because he started things and stuff and try to make everybody else around him look bad.
Yeah.
Even like the females like he would bring in, like there was only a few that told me like, man, I feel so uncomfortable with him. And I'm like, I know, and I wish like, and I told them everything about him basically, like behind his back, because he talks a lot behind a lot of people's backs.
Yeah.
So it's like, there was only like 2 females that stayed behind while he got off VR because of how tired he was, and told him to get off. And we spoke to 2 of them, and they said, I feel so scared and I feel like uncomfortable with him and all that. And we told her, hey, it's okay. You can leave. You know, I don't blame you for leaving.
Yeah.
You do what you can. Save yourself, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Alright. So when you mentioned, so like he knew like she was underage, right?
yes, it was not a lie.
Okay.
Because him saying like he never knew her age. Because there's, like I said, there's multiple people, which I'm assuming that's the reason why he's getting confused with the ages now. Because he's dated a lot of people who are underage, including a 13-year-old, which we also confronted him about. Sadly enough, I don't have any proof of the conversation or like evidence from like VR chat itself because I didn't think how far it would go, and it just escalated as time went on. And that was kind of like recent-ish before like we ended up cutting ties with him.
This was recent?
And yeah, kind of like in 2024.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere around there before like the ending was.
This person was
Yes. Because we ended up asking him on the sideline, like, hey, like, how old is she? And it was to the point where there was another day where he was getting frustrated and he was sexually frustrated as well. And he was saying a lot of things, which I'm not going to really say those things because I don't want you to feel disgusted by that either. It was bad. And like from knowing and seeing like what people are putting out for like the things, and I wish like somebody would like interview me because man, I have so much things on him. But anyways, he, like I said, at first he was a good person, then over time he just became someone else. Because there was a point in time where he was around us and then he left and then he came back because we gave him a chance, because how the way like that apology technically happened, like in your like video, that's exactly what he's done to us on multiple occasions. And of course, we don't believe it, but we just took it because like, you know, fine, whatever. But as soon as you f up again, we're leaving, which we have told him, and we left. So yes, there was a point in time dealing with the girl because they had a sister that we ended up joining off of him because she, I guess the older sister of that year-old wanted to see for herself of what type of person he was, I guess. But they were both muted in the instance, and they, I guess, ended up like obviously breaking up or whatever. But like he was just so mad and frustrated because he couldn't get anything out of her.
As a okay. I know that's just like that's like crazy. That's like new to me, you know. Like I didn't think he'd go that young.
Even did I, to be honest with you, because like maybe like or like, you know, you would think like, okay, well that's not, at least to me it's like not that bad, but it's still bad, right? Because
like between like obviously gonna be the word.
Yeah, because he's also dated a year-old as well, which is a good person. Okay. And that's because he ended up saying, well, she's about to turn like in like a few months or the next 2 months or whatever. And I'm like, okay, but that still doesn't make it right. What's wrong with you? It's I wish like I had those like moments of like, you know, proof of that, but sadly enough I don't, because again it was all on VR, so it's like I just, plus I don't even want that but it's bad in person, like especially seeing it and being around in it is insane. And I'm pretty sure for like you being targeted and or like especially by him, and the fact that like, you know, he's trying to reach out to me now because I guess you could say I had more of a reason and sense he's trying to come back, and I don't want him around me at all, or any of my VR children, because no.
So like, was there like a point in time where you guys like had like a big fallout and like you guys just like when you guys like separated?
Yes, it's happened. I think maybe like the really big ones. It was one time, which is the first time because he thought I was playing favorites. And of course that was never the case because one of our like VR children would join us and kind of like be around for a little while. And by the time that he would get on and join us, he would see them and get frustrated. And it just never really worked. And it's like, okay, well, that's fair enough. You know, like, we're not going to force anybody to like each other. You know, I mean, that is what it is, right? So, we had a falling out because of that. And he basically called it, like, high school drama when it had nothing to do with that. And we told him, like, we were not playing favorites because I was being open-minded to him because he said that he wanted his friends to be involved in, like, the worlds that we were in. I'm like, okay, well, then I'll make an exception for making it Friends Plus only then, so that way, you know, you can add whoever and have fun. But it just led to random and him getting mad at me because, you know, for whatever reason. But then the last falling out was when I called him basically, dude, you're a creep. And he said, you know what? You. And he blocked me. All because I told him, because the person that he was dating was at the time, and that's when I had enough. And I told him, like, dude, the more that you do this, you're not beating the allegations. And he blocked me, and I couldn't even finish my sentence because of how frustrated and how mad he got, because he already said, well, you calling me a pedophile. And it was just crazy. It's like, dude, you are, because why are you doing that?
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's like, I did not know any of that, so I'm like kind of like freaking out. Like, so sorry.
No, you're fine. Like, trust and believe. I know it's going to be shocking, especially when people are finally going to hear from my side. Like, because I'm pretty sure when he hears this or whenever this does come out, he's going to know it's me. And there's no way of hiding that because of how long we've been knowing him and the things that we've talked about seeing. There's multiple points where I had breakdowns. I had to make other alts just for me to get a chance of having a sense of peace. And that wasn't enough.
Yeah,
it was crazy. And he does have a stalking problem, I will say that for sure, because he would have people blocked and go through their stuff and talk about people. Because we like even with you, like talking about like the whole like Sonic ordeal or whatever. No, he talked about you too. He talked about you.
Oh,
Talked about it like, and he talked about like some other people, right? And we know because we were there in a funny, weird sense. So like we know what was happening. It's just we don't know the people of what he was talking about.
Okay, just be clear, guys. I don't force guys who sound like Sonic to make out with me. Okay, that is literally. Let's get that clear. Let's get that clear, okay? I don't force anyone. I don't pressure anyone to ERP like a gross weirdo. Okay, that's not me. Okay.
Yeah, I figured because he loves to make up stories. Trust, I know.
Honestly, like that was really all the questions I really had. You'd answered everything I had on my list. I mean, if there's any like, okay, let me ask you this: if someone new on VR chat met him and he was like, let's be friends, and then this person like told you like what do I like, what should I do, like what would you say to them?
Well, before anything, if I knew he was joining and he sent a request off of me, I would tell anybody who was in the instance with me, yo, I'm going to tell you right now, there's somebody that's going to come in that you may not like. And I'm telling you right now, if he adds you, you don't have to add him. It's completely your choice.
Yeah.
But I will warn you, do not add him unless you want to be like a next person that's he's trying to get with. And it's not going to be pretty, trust. I've seen so many people talk about them being victims and everything, and as sadly as it is, I kind of feel like I'm not even sure if I even have the right to say like I'm a victim because I've been around for so long, right? But at the same time, I'm witnessing these things, and he loves to keep things private at times. So when we do ask him like, "Hey, how's it going?" or "What's happening?" or whatever, he'll keep quiet sometimes, or sometimes he'll say, "Oh yeah, like I have a girlfriend" or whatever. And sometimes when we put the girls in his bio, I would be nosy and kind of like look up the girl's like bio and see like if they have their age in there. And I've been skeptical when people don't put their ages in their bio because I'm like, okay, well, there's no way that you're not a minor. Like, because you wouldn't have to hide your age if you weren't a minor.
So, or at least say that you were a minor, you know? But the fact that none of it was being said, it got me thinking, like, okay, so you must be a minor.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Well, I'm basically done. That's all the questions I have for you. Like, thank you.
I just want to say this, if you can add this in real quick. If he is seeing this, which I'm pretty sure he will be, leave us alone. We don't want to do no more. We left for a reason. You overstepped our own boundaries. You talked behind our own backs. And you're going to say, no, I didn't, when there's proof. And I have proof of that when you did. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. I moved on. You should too. And if you're telling people to get off the internet because of their own stuff, maybe you should think twice, because that's when your mama ended up taking your stuff away and you somehow just ended up getting it back. So I don't know. Maybe you should work on yourself about that. And especially about social cues and using autism as an escape, or use it as an excuse, as if like you have every right to do so. That's not right. And for the people who are diagnosed or any like certain situations, and especially about DID, ooh, that's another thing too. He said that he thought he had DID, but we already knew that he doesn't, because we're also a system ourselves. So it's like, why are you lying?
Yeah.
But either way, want nothing to do with him. Don't want to talk to him. Don't want to see him. And everything that comes out, they're to be commenting under it. And you can get mad. You can throw a fit. You can delete your comments. But we know, because we have proof of that thing. He can play as much as he wants, but it won't be good for him.
Okay. So, how did you first meet Rockstar?
Here's how I met Dallas. We met in VR chat. This was in the fall season of 2022. He at first was very friendly and chill, on meeting him. I knew him for about a month and a half. At this time, I was already dating someone else, which do keep that in mind for later.
Okay. Okay. Did you guys ever have like a bond or anything? Like, how strong was it?
We got along at first for a little bit, but then but here's where the red flags started to come in. I thought something was off. While being his friend, he'd spam invites to me, either wanting to join the same instance or going somewhere else. I cave in sometimes. He would just sometimes not take no for an answer. And he was always very clingy. I did develop feelings for him. And this was while I dated someone else, but I decided to try for an open relationship, and I thought I was okay with it, so it's not cheating.
Okay. And then when did you realize the red flags? And like, what was the official downfall of your guys' relationship?
Me and him were going to meet up in his state, which is in Texas. I wanted to go see a concert, and he agreed we could meet for at least a day. I wasn't planning to stay for very long, where the concert was only about 3 or 4 days, like, the weekend vacation. And here's where big red flag number one began to show. He wanted to stay the whole time I was there, and I said no.
Was there anything else that happened?
I guess I'll go on to red flag number 2 is he would try to push my boundaries when it came to hanging out and even cuddling with me, even though I was already dedicated to my actual partner. And then this is where the more I stayed with him, the more he just stopped hiding what he was really feeling. And he would say some of the grossest things like I'm playing hard to get, and some stuff about me and my partner, which I don't remember the stuff that he said about me and my partner at the time, but it was just really gross, and it pissed me off.
Okay. Was there another red flag that you didn't like?
No, that's pretty much those are the things that have stuck with me to this day.
What was like your official like downfall, like when you stopped being friends with him?
So the final straw was on the day before Thanksgiving in 2022, right around the corner of the holiday. Me and him were going to hang out and like watch a movie, but I was getting so uncomfortable, and I told him I didn't want to hang around anymore. I decided to spend that night with my friends instead. He didn't take it well and started to freak out.
Mm-hmm. And then what did he say things that you remember?
No, I've had him blocked for so long, I can't. And then at first I did not block him. I just told him that I'll talk to you later. I just don't want to hang out right now. I don't think I even initially said, if I said that I was uncomfortable, but I think I hinted it. So I didn't block him right away or unfriend him. I just wanted to like move on and just enjoy the evening and the start of the holiday. And not long after, he called my phone number, which who would think, why do you have his phone number? Well, it was to keep in touch if we were going to go on the trip. But since that never happened, and I didn't think he was actually going to call me, which is funny. I didn't think he was that kind of person, but the moment he started to call me is when I really knew that he was being a complete weirdo. So I blocked his number, and then I think it was either that night or the day after that night. He entered my server and he really, really wanted to talk to me, and that's when I knew he was being a stalker.
Oh, dang. Okay. And then, was there anything like else that you'd want to share?
There's one other bit of behavior I found very weird and a little questionable. Was there was someone he was dating, and it lasted for only about 4 days, and it was a trans man. And I thought that's kind of weird. Not the fact that this person is trans. It's not what I mean at all. Is that Dallas normally dated straight or girls or something, and he's straight. So I'm like, that's not something he's really into. So I think this person, I don't remember his name, and I wish I did. And I think a lot of his friends were kind of thinking the same thing, but they didn't want to say it. They didn't want to say it, they just wanted to be nice. But I think this person was just barely legal. It's just barely legal, maybe 17 or maybe 18, I don't remember. But I just know, I think I remember that the age felt off with the age gap. And I don't think he really wanted to actually have a genuine relationship with him. I think he only wanted a relationship with him because of his biological gender, which is really weird.
Yeah,
that's my deep theory.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's the kind of person that's so desperate to have a girlfriend, and so he can like do things with her or them, and it's really weird.
Yeah. Well, okay. Is there any like final messages you'd like to drop here by chance? Any
Yeah,
message?
I got my final word. I want to say to Dallas. Dallas, you are a disgusting, blood-sucking parasite. You need to leave people alone. You need to stay off the internet. You need to grow up, get help, and you should know by now, or hopefully in the future, you will not be getting away with this anymore. You ran away. You ran away like a coward, but like the coward that you are, and you deleted your channel because you knew that your time was running out. And I hope it stays that way. And good riddance.
And before this video ends, I want to share what happened while making this video. So the GOAT, Supersonic, ended up coming across Rockstar, who as expected made another YouTube channel just to talk smack to him. Supersonic had his own things to share too, and eventually Rockstar decided to respond to all the situations people have been upset about. Now this is his response, and honestly, if this is how he sees things, yeah, no, this is completely unacceptable. That's all I have for this video. I won't be making any more videos about Rockstar. I think 2 videos that are an hour long each showing how much of a bad person he is more than enough, so thanks for watching.